Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm checking out a 2020 Ford Ranger in the Lariat trim level. Now this is a four-wheel drive truck with the FX4 off-road package. This truck is sitting on 265/60 hand-cooked tires wrapped around 18-inch alloy wheels with a gloss black finish. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated rotors on all four wheels. The name of this color is Race Red. And sun is shining and it's a nice glossy red, but nothing, too special about the color other than that it's a nice bright red color. Now it does contrast with the gloss black trimmings here on the front of the vehicle. So you can see a good portion of the grille is a gloss black. Even the headlight bezels are also gloss black. In there with some chrome. You have some gloss and flat blacks here at the bottom. Tow hooks protruding on either side. Recovery hooks. And then right there in the very center is your radar sensor for your adaptive cruise control. It also has parking sensors across the front as well. So right here and here. Wheel well ventilation right in this area. Air can flow through. Now the headlights, fog lights, are in a projector housing. They have a focused beam and they're powered by LEDs. You also have a daytime running light that's LED powered, and the turn signals here in the front are standard bulbs. Looking at the profile, you can see the handles are body colored, but the side mirror is a gloss black. So right in here, gloss black right there. You also have some trimming pieces there where it says Lariat. That's also a gloss black. There's a step at the bottom, and that is a flat black. And the pillar here in the center part, which kind of connects the glass together, that is like a satin. It's not completely super flat, but it's not a gloss either. It's more of a satin color. Be better, I guess it would be better if it was glossy if you're trying to connect the gloss glass together. Once you tint the front glass, it'll kind of solidify it better if it was gloss. Now all those gloss black kind of goes good with the wheels. Here's what that badge looks like. It looks pretty cool. This is what the key looks like, and it's a proximity key. It's designed to carry with you, and as long as you have the key with you, you can use the vehicle 100%. Now it's a pretty good size key. It's very thick and got a little bit of weight to it. It's just like, like a huge thing in your hand that you have to carry around with you. But it does have the lock and unlock buttons, the remote start, and a panic button. Let's go ahead and push that panic button. that horn is strong. That is a very loud horn. And the remote start is very fast. So quickly gets that engine running quickly, and just by pushing the lock and then double tap the remote start, and you can turn it off as well. But as long as you have the key with you, it could be in your pocket, in a bag, as long as you have it within a close proximity to the outside of one of the doors. It could be any of the doors, which is pretty cool. It has a sensor on all four handles. So there's a little dimple right here, and that is the lock button. So you can put your hand over it, your finger, whatever, to lock the vehicle. To unlock it, you simply put your hand behind the handle, and it will unlock the doors and allow you access to the vehicle. You also have this key code as well, so you can go ahead and push buttons and access the vehicle that way as well. Now, on the driver's side only here, this one door has a physical key location, and there's a physical key inside the key fob as well, but usually you don't need it. The inside of the doors, here's the passenger side, and it's pretty much a lot of hard plastics here, pretty much everywhere, except for in this area where you put your elbow and your arm while you're sitting. And it's not super soft. It does bottom out quickly, but it does give you some soft touch surfaces anyway. There's some pockets here at the bottom. And then there's like a metallic gray accent here. And you see the doors wide open, so it's easy to get in and out of the vehicle for sure. Has a little bit of a height off the ground, so it does have a step to help you in. And check out this this door sill. It is basically a mirror. So it says Ranger, but it's basically like a mirror. It's like a straight up mirror right there. So I wonder how that's gonna, hold up with stepping on it or whatever. But it's actually kind of recessed a little bit, because this part is where you'd actually step for the most part. So it's pretty interesting having a mirror right there. I can understand chrome and stuff, but a mirror. Okay, so the passenger side has a power seat, and it goes up and down, and it also has a two-way power lumbar. So not a lot of passenger seats have the ability to go up and down. Forward and back and all that stuff is pretty much standard with a power seat here on the passenger, but this one has the height adjustment as well. Now, to tilt the back of the seat, that is a manual adjustment. So you have the leather seats, and they do put the cloth here on the sides, kind of help out with, rubbing against that plastic, which is nice. So the leather seats, and the seats are nice and comfortable. No complaints here as far as the seat comfort. And they look pretty good too. A little bit of bolstering going on, but not too intrusive on your body. So I do like these seats. The comfort is nice. All right, there's your floorboard. Lots of legroom, a little bit of tapering, but overall just wide open space there for your legs. Has a locking glove compartment. Smooth, hard plastics on the inside. Now it has hard touch surfaces here and here, and this is that gray accent like you found on the door, and then up here is a soft touch surface. Kind of simulates like a synthetic leather, I guess you can say. Does have a handle for help getting in and out of the vehicle as well. So we saw how much room we have here in the front, the height and everything, and the swing of the door as well helps out. But here in the back, you have a much smaller area as far as getting in. The height of the ceiling is really nice, but the swing of the door is a little bit lacking in my opinion. So here's the inside of the back door, and it's hard touch and everything, just like the front door basically. Soft touch in here. And the seat is basically a bench seat. And overall, back here, even though the swing of the door is a little bit limiting, getting in and out is not a big deal, especially because of the height of the ceiling. That's usually an issue trying to get in and out of vehicles, is the height of the ceiling. You have to kind of squeeze in or duck your head. This is fine. I mean, getting in and out is not really a big issue. On the back of both front seats is a pocket. And I have this passenger seat a little bit, more in a normal position. I have the driver's seat over there. You can see it's like it's all the way back, and it's kind of tilted back. That's my normal driving position. And just to give you an idea of how even you still have a little bit of legroom, even with the seat like that. So it's not really a big deal as far as the legroom back here. It's pretty good. And it's basically a bench seat, and it has the car seat attachments, the latch or ISOFIX, armrest with cup holders in there as well. You have the removable headrests and a little window there that you can open up. It's a manually sliding window. There's a pretty significant hump there on the center portion. Now it is flat on top. Then you have two USB charge ports and a power supply, a actual outlet like you'd find in your house, but it only does 150 watts. It's a 110 volt outlet. And you're not going to use a hair dryer or anything. It's a 3-volt. It's a 3-prong though, which is nice, but it's for charging laptops or cell phones, that kind of thing. Low powered stuff. Underneath the seats, you'll see there's some tools over there for lowering your spare tire. And there's some cargo space. Little bins right here that you can put some stuff in. It's underneath the seat. There's also stuff behind the seat back here. You have your jack, and there is a subwoofer as well. And there's your amplifier. Sounds pretty good. I mean, the sound system in this vehicle is great. So looking at the back of the vehicle, it has this little antenna there in the top center, which is pretty neat. It's not really a shark fin. It's probably actually better than a shark fin because it kind of goes up a little bit. And then you have some cargo lights and then your third brake light at the top of the rear glass. And you can see the little sliding glass window there in the back. It has the FX4 off-road badging here in the back of on the sides of the bed, on both sides. And the tail lights are all powered by LEDs. Unlike the front, where it has an LED turn signal, this one has the LED everything. Now the backup camera is right underneath the emblem. It's in a very center position. It's very well integrated. It's in a fairly high position and it is in the very center. So really good job as far as where to put the backup camera, in my opinion anyway. Now you see there's a lock. You can lock the tailgate, but it also has the ability to lock and unlock with the key. So if you lock the vehicle, it also locks the tailgate. You can disable that feature, and that might be something you might want to do, and then you can manually lock it when you want. So if you're working and you want to have the vehicle locked and you're going in and out of the bed of the truck, sometimes it's good to disable that feature. So there's this little cover here on the right side, and it has a lock behind it. You have to use your key, the physical key, and this is removable, and then that way you can put in, there's a steel rod that goes in there and it connects up to lower your spare tire. So this is like a common thing for years and years and years with trucks, but this one has an actual key that you have to remove out of the way first, so somebody can't steal your spare tire basically. It has a 4- and 7-way outlets here. And you notice these outlets, trailer outlets, are above the bumper. So your bumper is here, it's above it, so it keeps debris and dirt from getting on them. Also, they have nice covers, and they're just easy to get to, instead of having them down here. So here's your towing package. And it's nicely integrated, doesn't stand out, it's not an eyesore. You also have parking sensors across the back. Just like the front, you have these little parking sensors. Okay, so lowering the lift, the tailgate, it does not have any kind of soft landing, so there's no assisted tailgate. So if I just drop it down, I have to hold it and make sure it doesn't slam down. Like a normal tailgate, more traditional tailgate. A lot of modern trucks have like a soft landing, they have a cushioned landing, or they have assisted to where it's easy to lift up. This is not that hard anyway. It's not a big deal lifting it up. But if you're not accustomed to it, you want to make sure that you hold it until you lower it all the way down. So the bed of this truck is not super huge because, of course, you have the back seat and all the room for passengers. The bed is right out 5 feet long. And then the tailgate, with the tailgate down, it's a little bit over 7 feet. And you don't have the width to put in like a sheet of plywood flat down. But, I mean, it is a very capable truck. It's just the bed is not all that huge. So it depends on your needs. Now it does have tie downs, fixed tie downs there in the front and the back. So all the way on the front and back. And it has the like a rhino lining from the factory, spray in bed liner. So you might be wondering what this thing is. A company actually sent me this, and this is a step, and I'll show you in a second. So basically it's a step, and it's basically no name. So they sent it to me, the box didn't have any name brand or branding or anything on it. It actually doesn't have any branding on it itself. and it's just a chunk of metal. Seems pretty heavy duty, but it's a step so you can get in the vehicle. So this flips up and down, and I don't know if this will flop down on you while you're driving. It's supposed to hold up. It seems like it might hold up, but it's not. It also, the bolts is pretty much a waste of time, the bolt that it comes with. So you want to get another bolt, and there's a lot of play in it. Can you see that? So it's going to bounce around and make some noises, but basically it's a step to get in and out of the vehicle, and it seems like it'll hold up. It's feels like it's a cast iron material that's painted, and there's no rubber anything here. It's just a textured metal, and it has 2 different depths, so you can have it push in or out. So there's another hole here, and then you can use that second hole. But with the tailgate down, it's pretty much worthless because the tailgate gets in the way. So, you know, if you need to access something in a bit of a tall truck or something, this might be useful. And I forget what the name brand is. You can actually, I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out. It's kind of interesting. I mean, they have different ones like this, but this one actually seemed like it was the heavy duty looking one. The other ones kind of look a little flimsier. Other than the bolt sucks. Everything else seems fine on it. Now, I've done a detailed light video, like the interior and exterior lighting of this vehicle at nighttime. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description and also a card, so you can check out the lighting, because it is pretty interesting. It looks pretty cool, especially the taillights. Fuel door, there's no cap, so that's pretty cool. It does have a blind spot monitor system, and the indicators here on the side mirrors. It also serves as the rear cross traffic alert indicator. Starting it up, as long as you have the key inside the vehicle, you just put your foot on the brake and you'll see this little button light up, and you push it. You don't have to hold it, you just push the button. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. Now you notice the floor mat snaps in place in 2 places. Here's your accelerator and brake pedal, a nice big footrest here on the left side. Let's take a look under the hood. To open the hood, a little bit to the left of center, right in here. To the left, you just move it to the left, it unlatches the hood, and the hood actually holds itself up. It doesn't take much effort to go right on up. You can see this. That's the latch release, hood release. Installation on the underside of the hood. You also have a seal all the way around, front, back, sides, everywhere. It actually has another seal right here. You can see that right here, to channel cooler air into this area here as well. Insulated firewall, insulated battery, has a little plastic cover. Now this is a 2.3 liter 4-cylinder engine. So pretty interesting, because when you drive it, it doesn't feel like a 4-cylinder. It feels like a V6 or something. It's a very powerful, strong V6. So with a 4-cylinder like this, really is amazing. Now there is some turbo lag, because this is a turbocharged engine. So every once in a while you feel like it really has to get up to the RPMs. As soon as the RPMs get up though, it's really, really strong, and you feel confident, you know, merging in the traffic and stuff like that. It's not weak at all. So you may be familiar, Ford calls this the EcoBoost. So it's a 2.3 liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder engine paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And I'll put all the specs and dimensions and all that stuff in the description, because it is pages of specifications on this vehicle, so you can scan through it a lot easier than I can read it out to you. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. So your power windows are here. Now the driver is automatic, 1 touch down, 1 touch up. The other windows, you have to hold them. So you have to hold the windows, hold the button in order to go up or down. Same thing with the back. There's your door lock controls there. Not a huge amount of extra stuff in this door. And just like the passenger side, the driver's seat also has 2-way lumbar adjustment and a power seat on the bottom, and then the tilt of the seat is manually controlled. To the left of the steering column, you have your headlight controls. So it has automatic on, parking, and off. There's your fog lights, interior gauge dimmer switch, the ability to turn on your cargo light at the top of the cab. Up here is how you adjust the side mirrors. You just pick a side and adjust it with that little pad. And then right above it is a power folding switch. You can fold in the side mirrors. It also has a tilt and a telescoping steering column that you lock in place here. Sitting in the driver's seat, checking it out, I have the seat all the way back, all the way down, and I'm 6 feet tall, just to give you an idea of the legroom. And actually, this is fine for me. I mean, I could put it all the way back and drive fine. I could put a little bit forward if I had to, but overall it's pretty good, especially considering you have back seats. The knee room is fine. I mean, there's no obstruction of the pedals. Here and here, it's all pretty much open. The steering wheel is nice and soft, has a good thickness, but also it's soft, very soft, much softer than a lot of other vehicles. It does feel very durable as well. One of the things that, if it's too soft, then it kind of, if it's not durable, and if, you know, durable material, then it might kind of dig in and start flaking or something like that. But it feels very durable and just one of the better steering wheels as far as the comfort anyway. So here on the right side, there's the volume for your radio is right here. And then you have voice recognition and mute the audio here. Now these two are kind of mixed. So if there's a call coming in, you can answer or hang up, right? Or when there's not a call coming in, you can change through your presets on your radio or your audio tracks, depending on what you're doing. They're kind of, can't really see, like at first I didn't really notice that you can actually do that. I just saw the phone icon. So it'd be probably nice to have a separate button for that. Or maybe, so like these buttons, maybe a double purpose of these buttons or something. But if you know they're there, it's not a big deal. There is a lot of going on, and things aren't clearly marked. A lot of these buttons are not super clearly marked. So over here we have the cruise control. You turn it on. You have to turn it on each time you get in the vehicle if you want to use it. Default will be off. So you turn it on. You can set with either one of these buttons, change your speeds. Resume and cancel as the same button here. And then these buttons are for the adaptive cruise control, so you can set the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. It also has a lane departure warning system. It'll actually vibrate the steering wheel slightly if you get too close to a, you know, like you're going to go outside of your lane. So these buttons here and these buttons correspond with their screens. So there's a screen for this set of buttons and a screen for that set of buttons. We'll get to that in just a second. Windshield wiper controls are here. On the left side is your turn signal and also your headlight dimmer switch. And this button here on the end is your lane departure warning system, so you can turn that feature on or off. So here's the gauges, and it's basically one gauge. So you have a traditional speedometer there in the center part, and you can see these screens here on either side. They have more information. So on the left side you have your fuel gauge, and you can change that little bit of information there if you want. There's a little bit of a glare. I can't really see it with my eyes, but the camera's picking up quite a bit of a glare on this left screen. So there's a digital speedometer here on the left side. This is showing that I have the start-stop feature off. It's a feature I don't care for, so I turn it off when I get in the vehicle. So using these buttons, so we can scroll up and down and get more information, change the way the screen looks, and we have a tilt for your angle of your steering. As I turn the steering wheel, it gives us the angle of the steering, which is pretty cool. Also the how level the vehicle is for the back and side to side, and also the drivetrain. So right now it's just doing rear wheel drive, so it has that bright. So we have this different information here. You have your engine coolant temperature there. Now on the if we push to the left, we can actually go into this menu system right here and change our display mode. We can go into different trips. There's 2 of them that you can reset independently. You also have a timer, fuel economy information, driver assist systems. You can turn on or off, or adjust them. And then you have settings. And then this is your display mode, which you scroll up and down for different displays. This would be my default because I like a digital speedometer, but it is a little bit off to the one side, but at least it does have one. The screen on the right. So these buttons on the right hand side of the steering wheel control it. And so let's go to the left. So you can see it has entertainment, navigation, and phone. You can see it's color coded. So in the entertainment, we can change through presets going up and down. We can go right here. Now, when you're playing tracks on a Bluetooth device or something like that, when you go up and down, it doesn't change to the tracks here. You have to use these buttons below, down here. But anyways, so I was kind of surprised that you weren't able to do that. Scrolling to the right, you can change your audio source. We can go into navigation. We can get a digital compass here. Phone, we get information about a phone. There's no phone connected right now. So this is more of an entertainment focused screen. You notice it does have the outside temperature, digital compass, and a digital clock as well. Rather small. Most things are kind of small. So as you're driving, you're looking at the road, looking down, things are kind of small, not very easy to see. Even the digital speedometer could be bigger, in my opinion. So right up here we have a storage area, put some gloves or whatever. Something that the sun's not going to mess up. Alright, so here's the touch screen, the sync system, and it has buttons here across the bottom so you can quickly go through stuff. This is your audio button, it's illuminated. You also have a home screen, which is a split between your radio, navigation, and your phone. But let's start here on the audio. So you have your presets there at the very bottom, what's playing. You have some album art there as well. You can do a direct tune. This is handy for like satellite radio, since there's so many channels. And you can change your audio source here, AM, FM, satellite radio, Bluetooth as well. You also can use a USB drive, things like that. It also has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto capable as well. So your climate, you can control it here. You also have some buttons below. I'll show you that in a minute. Once you pair a phone, you can have your information here, your phone book, recent calls, send and receive calls, all that good stuff. Navigation is here, so you can view the map. You can put in specific addresses and all that stuff, and you can not easily pinch zoom, but you can do it. But it's sometimes it works, and the screen's a little laggy. I know sometimes I'll push a button, and sometimes, right now it's okay, but sometimes it's, especially like on the steering wheel or something, I'll push it and it's like, just you have to give it a second and then it'll show up. I guess it depends on what you're doing. There's your applications. Travel Link is really nice. And then there's your settings. You can change your ambient light to different colors, which is pretty cool. And I have a night video of this vehicle as well. Alright, so that's kind of a quick rundown of the touchscreen, how it's used and what's on it. Four-way flashes are here. You have a traditional volume tuned through the station's knobs, which is nice. And then you can, change through stuff here, play and pause. So your climate control, is here, in addition to the screen, you have some controls here. You have temperature for your driver and passengers to dual zone, your fan speed there in the middle. You also have a 3-stage heated seat for your driver and passenger seat. There's a little storage compartment down here, 2 12-volt power supplies, which is nice. 2 backlit USB ports. And you will, to use the Apple CarPlay Android Auto, you will need to have your phone connected through one of these ports. Alright, and then right in here is a bunch of buttons. And this is your downhill descent button for off-road use only. Trailer tow button, so you tell the vehicle when you're towing. Parking sensors you can turn off, default is on. Auto stop, which will actually turn the engine off when you're sitting at a stoplight or whatever. Default is on, and you can turn that off if you want to. This is to lock the differential. So this is a locking differential button here, and then the traction control is default on, and you can turn it off here. So there's a lot of off buttons here, basically off, off, off. So default will be on those. 4-wheel drive control. So you have 2-wheel drive high, 4-wheel drive high, and 4-wheel drive low. And the center button right here says TM, so that stands for terrain modes. So let's show you what it looks like when I push the button. Let me zoom in here. This is the screen. Okay, so when I push that, so I have normal, grass, gravel, snow, basically slippery surfaces, mud, ruts, and sand. So depending on where you're at, you can tell the vehicle what it needs to prepare for and how to handle it, you know. So the engineers engineer different ways the vehicle can respond to different environments. You just got to tell what environment it is in. Okay, so here's the shifter, and it's pretty good size. It's big, it's actually pretty comfortable and everything. Let's go ahead and put it in reverse and check out the backup camera. And then remember, it's in that high center position. The very center line here matches with the center of the vehicle. It has active guidelines, so there's like this ghost shadow that moves when you turn the steering wheel, giving you the trajectory of the vehicle, estimated trajectory. You also have, when you put it in reverse, 2 things will happen. The parking sensors will turn on and the backup camera will pop up. You have parking sensors in the front and the back, and if there's something back there or in front of the vehicle, it will illuminate and beep at you and tell you where the object is. So that's really handy when you're squeezing in somewhere. But if you're just creeping into a parking space, you don't have to have it in reverse for the front parking sensors to be active. It'll actually let you know if you get close to something, which is pretty nice. And you push this plus button. This gives you a top-down view of right there, right in this area. So if you're backing up to a trailer, you can push that quickly and you can guide yourself in a little bit more precisely. But this is more of a wide-angle view here. Really handy, simple, easy to use, not too complex, and good visibility. The resolution of the camera is good as well. There's neutral, drive, and there is a sport mode here. So this will give you, more of an emphasis of performance over fuel economy. But it's not really a high-performance race car vehicle, but it has that function nonetheless. Now it also has the ability to limit your high gear, so if you need a downshift, you can do that as well, and then you can release it by pushing and holding the plus, so that way it'll release and put it back in drive. There's cup holders, hand brake, parking brake. Here's the armrest. Pretty soft. I mean, it does bottom out after about a half an inch or so. This lifts up, and nothing. It's not spring loaded or anything, so it'll flop down on you unless you pull it all the way back. Has a place to put a pin or a tire gauge right there. And then it has a pretty good sized storage compartment here. Has a little rubbery bottom piece. Other than that, it's soft. It's smooth plastic, hard plastic inside. And there's a little bit of a space here in the front for wires to go in and out of it. But there's there's no like place to plug in or anything, but if you do need to run a wire in there, you can. It has an auto dim rear view mirror. It's actually auto dimming now because I have the shade of the light sensor, which is right back here. You have some tap lights. You can turn on all, okay, so you can turn on this light independently, or this one. These are LEDs. You can turn on all the interior lights or have them all off, like so. The center position will have them turn on with the door. So as I open up the door, they turn on. If you don't want that, then you can turn that feature off here. Place to put your shades, and it has a very soft felt lining on the inside, very soft. It's a pretty good size here, so you can have the big Hollywood sunglasses if you want. The visors have like a vinyl wrapping, a little clip right there. Mirror and lights. There's your HomeLink garage door opener controls. It does extend out as well. Okay, so let's look at the visibility in the back. So it's a truck, so you do have limited as far as the visibility back here. The headrests are removable, so you can, you know, add to your visibility if you need to, based on if you have passengers back there or not. But overall, the visibility is fine. I mean, it has the backup camera, it has the blind spot detection system, rear cross traffic alert, parking sensors, all that kind of stuff as well. So anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.